Hey everyone, it's Steve here with FaithStream, and I am privileged and honored to be joined by Josh Carson, Senior Pastor at Calvary Tabernacle in Indianapolis. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, it's my honor. Glad to.
Awesome. Very good. Hey, I just want to say how refreshing it is to see what you're doing with FaithStream and Calvary TV.
Yeah.
And it's so many people think about streaming and they think live streaming and services, and we know that that's important.
Sure.
But I see a focus as well as on kids content, and in a world that has so many voices and avenues that are reaching for our kids, why is that so important for the church and for Calvary?
Yeah, maybe on two fronts, right? Okay. When you start talking about live stream and the focus there, my mind immediately goes to a handful of years ago when COVID kind of pushed us into this.
Right.
We saw everyone needed live stream, and yet there was a real separation between those who were prepared and those who weren't. And so it's made everyone level that. Yeah. But what we have to be honest about, we didn't need COVID for people to be using those mediums.
Right.
We just started trying to do better than ever through those mediums within COVID. Yeah. However, they were watching before using those devices, whether it's a tablet or a smart TV, or they were using them before, during, and certainly after, because it's the culture we live in.
Yeah.
For us, when you consider the opportunities, I grew up Southern Illinois, right? So fishing was just a part of what we did culturally. Yeah. So my grandfather was a prime example of why have one line in the water if you can have a couple of lines in the water. So we never took one pole fishing. It was always multiple. Yeah. And that concept, if I can, I'd rather cast a net than just a line. Yeah. So what are the areas of saturation, all the way from static publications to live stream media? So one thing we found, trying to infiltrate every area of every medium that's already being utilized. For us, as you know, even right there in a downtown network, I'm thinking about the high-rise living of all the people, the younger families, especially because you mentioned kids.
Right.
I know the data on how much the screen is a babysitter.
Yeah.
And so we need a healthy, God-centered, and not just quote-unquote God-centered, but what I believe is a one God apostolic message in a high-quality presentation that can be playing live throughout those mediums. So not just our live stream of service. What about Monday?
Yeah.
What about Saturday cartoon time?
Morning,
So trying to be available and have that other line in the water, or specifically, as I would say, that net that's available to catch eyes properly rather than with some kind of a negative influence.
Yeah. Well, the family room TV, it's one of those things that we call it the lean back experience. And it's actually I guess I'd call it an experience rather than a medium, because people tend to, their guards will come down a little bit.
Yeah.
They're more willing to receive. And the other thing that we see now I know we want to reach people where they are. So I know at Calvary, you currently stream to Facebook and YouTube and some of these other platforms.
Yeah.
But also those platforms carry a level of distraction, interruption.
Yep.
And what I appreciate about Calvary TV is that when someone engages with a service, with a lesson, with a faith story, there isn't 100 other distractions to take them away from feeling that, so or from being pulled away.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like that is important then for our church with our message, and how do you find?
Phenomenal question. So we deal in postmodernity. The results of postmodernity are the need for fresh emotional hooks. All that being said, distraction is so easy.
Yeah.
And then we're constantly carrying around a phone, a tablet, or as you said, surfing YouTube, Facebook. Well, you're one person's post away. You're one new subscription alert away from bailing out for the greener pastures of the most updated content. Whereas when you've locked in, and I love that kind of consideration of more of a locked in living room setting, you're not surfing. You know, it's like you found where you're landing for a little bit. It maybe has that closer feel to being in a service, you know, where you're locked in for at least a season or a segment. We know attention span is still going to be what it is, right? There's a chance they're still going to be eating cereal while they're watching, or in a place where life can still happen. A phone could be on their lap, but at least through this medium, it's a more realistic way of saying with this, maybe they're, I don't want to say held hostage, but at least they're captivated without doom scrolling or without immediacy of distraction so prevalent.
Yeah, that's so true. And so many times they call it the second screen. So when somebody is engaged, let's say they're watching a message or a sermon or a teaching on Calvary TV, the second screen or somebody's phone while watching that, because they're already in that more engaged environment, can be a benefit to search a topic, to begin to engage and get some explanation, or even, hey, I want to pull up calvarytabindy.org. I want to see the website. I want to learn more about the church as well. So again, I don't know if I really have a question there other than
I love the thought. If we're as speakers, right? If I as a preacher mention a resource that we have, or I talk about a ministry that's available, and they're able to do a lifetime, say, you know that I'm prone to do a shout out towards a certain element of our ministry, something that's happening. Well, if that person that maybe they're 3 blocks away, maybe they're 30 miles away, but they're locked in watching. You and I both know people right now in today's age, most of the time they walk through your digital door before they walk through your physical.
For sure.
And so if they're able to hear me state one of our ministries, and then they use that phone to then take that next level. Wow, that's kind of like getting another hook, so to speak, if you could use that language. Stay with the fishing analogy a little bit.
Very good. I like the fishing analogy. I grew up in central Wisconsin, so we did a lot of fishing as well.
So when we finish this podcast, we'll go for a...
That's right. You got it. You got it. Well, if you would, thank you, Pastor, for joining us today. And thank you for being a part of the FaithWorks and FaithStream family with Calvary TV.
I appreciate the excellence in the platform and what you all are doing. For those that have never been able to check it out, I would highly recommend it. You know, they didn't ask me to say this, but I want to say it. So take advantage. Reach every way you can for the people in your surrounding community.
Well, thank you, Pastor Carson. And if you do want to know more about FaithStream, and you can visit faithstream.video, faithstream.video. Thank you, Pastor.